Hey there, YouTube. Ghost Jake here with you today. How are you doing today or tonight, depending where you are? Now, I actually made it home by 8 o'clock, so I could watch Once Upon a Time live instead of watching it at 2 in the morning when Hulu puts it up. When Hulu puts it up, and then watching it and then doing my review around 3 in the morning, my time, that is. Anyway, we're going to start on in the review just a second, but as okay, for the people who are wanting my the Exorcist TV show season 2 review, that is going to be around 1, because since I'm doing the review for Once Upon a Time, I am missing the live version of The Exorcist. I'll just catch that when Hulu puts that on. When Hulu gets that on. When Hulu puts it on Hulu at midnight. Okay, now 3, 2, 1. Let's get started on Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 5. Now, this episode was pretty good. It was pretty good. We start off in the other realm. But where we start off, we don't start off, with like Henry, Regina and Hook. We start off, or even Cinderella. Where we start off, with Princess Tiana, I believe, who is actually Jacinda's roommate in Hyperion Heights. Now anyway, when it picks up, she is with her mother, and they are at their castle. They're at their castle, and apparently what's going on, the kingdom's in trouble, because it's broke, or it's either broke or running out of money, and they're having an auction, and auctioning off some of their stuff, so they can earn money and get so they can get money, to survive. And then Tatiana finds one of her father's war medals, the ruby of something. I can't remember what the name of the damn ruby is, but they find that. Anyway, then we go back, and then she takes the ruby into the house, the castle. Takes it into the castle, and her mother says, "Oh, maybe you need to go find a prince or something so we can keep the kingdom safe." And then she's off to go see this magician or soothsayer or whatever he is. Okay, now we're going to Hyperion Heights for the first time. in Hyperion Heights, in we start off in Ronnie's bar, and Henry and Ronnie are talking, and then Ronnie mentions like, "Oh, I saw you were having drinks with." I saw you were having drinks with Ivy the other night, and then Henry's like, "He's like, yeah, we're just having drinks. You know, it's not really a big deal or anything." It seems like everyone is trying to push Henry, towards Jacinda for him to date. I'm kind of with Henry. If he wants to date Ivy, he can go right ahead, but that is going to be his problem. That's going to be his problem later, because there's kind of a pretty big. There's a pretty big twist at the end of this episode. But there's probably going to be nothing coming from that. But also Henry also mentions that the fact that Ivory got a small taste of standing up to Victoria. Like maybe she'd be willing to help. Help us with the investigation. Right, and then all of a sudden Rogers. He shows up. Rogers, he has some evidence about the missing girl case he's investigating, and they go put that into Ronnie's cellar at the bar, where no one will be able to get it. Now we see Ivy doing some stuff. No. Victoria. I might have jumped the gun a little bit. Said the Henry stuff first, and this might have been first. But we see Victoria, she's up in her hidden tower, wherever she is. Actually, you know what? I think that was actually first. My bad. Now that I remember, I think that was actually first. But Victoria was in her hidden tower, talking to whoever that woman is. I'll have to rewatch it on Hulu. Not episode 5, but maybe the season, to see who that woman, the name of that woman is, who she is, and that she's holding in that tower up in Hyperion Heights. Who Victoria is. I'll have to take a look. Maybe because I don't know her name, and then if they haven't said her name, well, then she's just going to be that mystery woman. But anyway, back to Victoria's office. Victoria wants Ivy to go pick her up some herbs and some roots and whatnot, because she wants to try to break, in order to bring her second daughter back to life. I think, what was her name? I think Anastasia, I think. The mystery woman said that she needs to crush either Lucy's belief or Henry's belief at the root. Henry doesn't really believe at the moment. We see pieces of it, he's starting to, but I don't think he actually is. So I think they're talking about Lucy's belief. And so Jacinda goes and she goes and she picks up all the ingredients she needs She goes and picks up all the ingredients she needs from the herbalists in Hyperion Heights. Now, we go back to the mysterious realm. And in the mysterious realm, we have still have Princess Tiana. She finally arrives at the Soothsayer's whatever he is hut, and pretty much she goes meeting with him. He's like, I don't really have any money to pay you. All right, because all of Rumpelstiltskin things. Just what Rumple usually says. Magic always comes with a price, and we'll see what the price is. What she's going to do later, but she doesn't have the money to pay the Soothsayer. But anyway, we see he's reading a fortune with some bones. He's like, oh, you need to follow this reddish crow, and this red crow will lead you to the prince you seek. And so Princess Tiana starts following the crow to find the prince, and then she eventually finds the prince, and then they go back to the Princess Tatiana's castle, and then right when the prince is getting ready to leave for the night, he steals her father's war medallion, because apparently that Soothsayer I mentioned wants it. Now back to Hyperion Heights really fast. One thing I did forget in Hyperion Heights earlier is that Jacinda's roommate came up to see Lucy, and Victoria mentioned that they're raising their rent another 8%, and it's like, oh, and they start complaining because they don't have enough money, and to pay the rent now. And then Jacinda's roommate is like, okay, I'll just fight this. And then Jacinda's roommate I think they said her name was Sabine or something like that. She comes up with the plan to sell these pastries to make a whole bunch of money. But in order for her to do that, she foolishly used all of Jacinda's rent money to buy the flour and the eggs and all the other ingredients for the pastries. So good for following your dream and taking a chance to fight against her, but if your plan doesn't work out, you are totally screwed. Right? So, and what they plan to selling the pastries, they're doing it at the chicken shack where Jacinda works, because apparently the guy who owns it is not there at the moment, right? Not there at the moment. He's at this convention or wherever he's at. Anyway, now we go to see Rogers really fast. Rogers, he is back at the police station, and he sees this guy with this tattoo that matches perfectly with this journal of this lost girl. So Roger's like, you know what? I need to question this guy. I need to question this guy really fast. Right? And then they start talking, and he's like, yeah. And the guy pretty much just lies and says, yeah, it's to protect me from like evil spirits or whatever. Now, anyway, back to the other realm really fast. Now in the other realm, after Princess Tiana stopped the guy, the fake prince who was trying to steal her father's medal for the Soothsayer, she decides to find some courage. And she takes she decides to find some courage, and she goes to the Soothsayer's place with the sword, and she to the Soothsayer's place with the sword, and she confronts him, and she takes the guy's frog, because the prince said that the Soothsayer turned his princess into a frog. So, like the Prince and the Frog, that little story. I don't know much about it, but anyway. Takes that. And then the Soothsayer's like, oh, I got what I wanted. I got the medal. And because apparently the ruby stone, it has magic properties in it. Anyway. And then they reunited. And then the prince and the frog get reunited. And then the prince kisses the frog. And instead of the frog turning into a princess or the prince turns into a frog, and they hop off into the water together. Anyway, now back to Hyperion Heights. Probably for the rest of the episode. Now, there's a part where I missed like 30 seconds to a minute of the show because I was out of my room, and the stupid commercial came back on when I was still in the kitchen. So just bad luck there. I mean, the commercial ended while I was still in the kitchen, when I was getting something to drink. But anyway, I saw where it picked up. I saw like Henry was gone. I don't know where he was because I was in the kitchen, like I said. But where I came back into my room, I came back in where Ronnie picked up Henry's phone and sent a text message to Jacinda, because apparently Ivy sent a text message to Ivy. My bad. Good deal, I caught myself because Ivy said, called Henry and said, you want some dirt on my called Henry, I believe, well, they were texting, and I think she wanted to give Henry dirt on her stepmother. Now, like I said, Ronnie's the one who answers the text, right? And and then instead of Henry going to meet Ivy, Ronnie's the one who shows up to meet Ivy. Now here is Ronnie and Ivy are starting to talk, right? As they are talking, it's like, oh, I'm not going to let you take, a shot at Henry or try to seduce Henry or whatever you're doing. And then Jacinda's like, Ivy, good gosh, I'm mixing up characters today. Why am I doing that? Yeah. Now, Ivy is pretty much saying, if I want to take a shot at Jacinda, it's like, why would I risk pretty much my career or, whatever, because, why would I pretty much risk my career to do this? Right? Because it's like my mother would pretty much just have me cleaning toilets, literally promoting me to demoting me to be a janitor. Instead of being like her secretary or whatever she is. Oh, okay. I did miss one thing. We should this was a little okay. Now at the chicken. This is what I missed. Now at the chicken shack. Like, sales are going good, and then Lucy shows up, and sales are going good. And all of a sudden, like, they're making tons of money, and all of a sudden, there is a fire that breaks out in the kitchen. And the entire kitchen restaurant is, and the entire restaurant is up in flames, and Sabine grabs the money and they head out of the restaurant. And at this point, Jacinda is really mad because now she doesn't have a job and she's going to probably have to take, pay for the damages for the restaurant. Right? And plus the rent and the increased rent. So it looks like that gamble she paid didn't really pay off. Okay, okay. I just wanted to mention that because I forgot about it. Now back to the investigation into Victoria with Ivy and Ronnie. Now they're investigating. They go up to this secret room that Victoria owns. And apparently, I was like, yeah, you see like all those herbs on like those cups or whatever? It was like my mother had me running around to like 50 different stores looking for this shit. Looking for all this stuff. And she like, ooh, there might be something here after all, Ivy. And I think Ivy is starting to come up in their trust a little bit. Anyway, now Ronnie eventually finds a photograph. And she takes a photograph. Now we'll see what is in the photograph later. Anyway, now we go to the police station. Now, in the police station, we see Sabine talking to Rogers because Sabine was getting ready to move out. She was getting ready to move out of Jacinda's place because of the fire. But then Lucy gives her mother some encouraging words, and she ends up buying a food truck to help her best friend, and that Rogers acquired for her. And then Sabine gives Rogers the pastry, and then we see the guy that Rogers interrogated earlier in the episode, and then he picks up his phone and is like, "Yeah, we have a problem. Someone's looking for the girl." Okay, Ronnie's bar. Ronnie shows the photograph to Henry, and the photograph is of her and younger Henry, and then Ryan's like, I don't even own clothes like this. I've never seen that in my life. And like, and who's that kid? And then Henry's like, oh, that's me. Now for the shocking twist. Ivy is going up to the room all alone. You think that was a shocking twist, but no, this is more of a shocking twist in my opinion. Ivy's going up to the room alone. Now in that room, we see that the mystery woman, and the mystery woman starts talking, and then here's the twist. Ivy is the mastermind behind everything. She's just letting her mother be in charge. That got revealed. Now this is okay. I can't wait for episode 6. Okay, this is Ghost Jake signing off. Have a good night. See you guys again at 1 o'clock. Bye.